Hi there, I'm Lena Robinson. Welcome to Lena Unedited. Today's topic is going to be about, as a leader, a founder of a business or a manager of people, one of the really important things is understanding that you have a duty of care for the people that work for you. And the reason that sort of instigated this topic of conversation is actually National Mental Health at Work Day today, which is driven by Right Steps UK. And it's something that I've always, as a founder of a business or manager of people, have always tried very much to think about, and this has been driven probably by watching how my parents treated their people that worked for them, is understanding that you have a duty of care for the people that work for you. Now, what does that actually mean? I mean, we're running businesses, we're trying to make money, we're trying to be commercially minded, and we have to think about the sort of operations of the business and all those kinds of things. So is this just one more hat that we need to wear? Well, in my opinion, yes. I think an example of a duty of care in my experience is being aware that we need to understand what's going on in the lives of the people that work for us, and that happy employees and team members, they're more creative in their thinking. When they have less stresses being put upon them, then they can turn up as their best selves. And I think when they turn up as their best selves, you have a happier team, you have a good culture, and culture, by the way, is not putting bean bags in places and having foosball things, which is what often used to happen in the agency world that I came from. But having a good culture is having happy people. It's having team members that communicate well with each other and communicate well with you. But not only is that good culture important, but also that culture, what does that actually end up looking like, from a commercial business side of things for your organisation, for the people that work there. I think a duty of care is, people talk about having an open door policy, but you've also got to think, well, what does that actually mean? I think that's really important as business owners and leaders of people, that we always have an open ear, truly listen to what our team members are saying, not just about what's happening in their lives or in their, always looking at, often we always talk about KPIs and goals, and I think sometimes it's just about checking in, making sure they're okay in their personal lives if they're happy to talk about that or what have you. Being understanding and being thoughtful about what those people need from a business perspective as well as a life perspective. And I think it's talking to them about how things are going at work. Are they feeling under pressure? Or if they are, what can you do as a founder and a business owner to relieve some of those pressures? I think personally, rather than just sitting out like, here's all the work and here's all the things that need to be done, and just work, focus on those things, which are important, of course they are. We can't run businesses if they're ineffective and inefficient. But here's my thing. I think if we look after the people that are working for us, and we truly, from a mindset perspective, have a duty of care, then the work will be effective, it will be efficient. Because I think when people are unhappy, either in their personal lives or in their business environment, then they will automatically, I've experienced anyway, they'll turn up, they'll be present, they will be more creative in their thinking, they will be able to come up with solutions and ideas and face challenges that every business faces, every job faces, every career faces. But I think if they're able to feel like you've got their back and that they can come to you no matter what's going on in their lives and have a chat to you, and you truly listen and show empathy and understanding, then, and I'm not talking about, how do I explain this? I'm not talking about just like completely compromising the business on behalf of the team. But there's a thought out there of people before profit. I've always believed in that, and it's not that profit isn't important. We're running businesses, of course it's important, but I think having a duty of care is checking in on the regular, noticing when somebody may be quieter than normal, or they look stressed, or you can tell. And if you take a moment and you take a beat, you will notice if somebody's not on form, if they're not performing. Is it because what we often go down the route of is, maybe they need training, or maybe they do, but often it's because something in their life is not tracking correctly, or that they're struggling with something. And it could be that mental health is one of those things. I understand that. I have always understood that, because I have several mental health challenges with bipolar and with anxiety. So I think not dismissing how important mental health is going to be really important to how well your team functions, how well your individual team members function, how well your business function. Always, I think, leads back to, have you as a business leader taking care of the people that work for you, and that mindset of having a duty of care. Now, that duty of care, I got this from my parents. They always would make sure people were okay. I know that when, and we all have this often when we're starting out in our businesses, or even long-term in our businesses, financially, sometimes we have challenges. We can have cash flow issues and all the rest of it. Now, I'm not saying this is the answer, but the example I had is that my parents always made sure their team members were paid before they paid themselves. I've always done the same. I've always made sure that the people that worked for me were looked after financially, that they were given credit for the work they did. So when I was in the corporate world, I always made sure that my bosses knew that if one of my team members had contributed or driven something that I was presenting but they weren't in the room, that they were given the kudos that they deserved. And I think oftentimes, and it's overlooked, it's not intentional often, but I think managers of people, founders and leaders in businesses sometimes to forget that without the people that work with them and for them, they can't do the things that they're meant to do and the role that they're playing as a leader. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. It's just that duty of care. Ask yourself, what does that look like for you? What does that look like for your business? I know what it looks like for me. It's checking in. It is always having an open mind and an open heart, and listening to people, asking how they're doing. Stepping back sometimes when you might be a little bit, and I can be a bit like this, a bit of, I'm a big personality, and that can be a bit overbearing for people sometimes. It's like being mindful of that, being aware of what's going on in your organisation, your business, with the people, because no business can be truly successful in all of its elements if the people that are working within that organisation are not balanced and happy and settled and feeling cared for. So that's kind of all I wanted to talk about today. It's a lovely sunny day. It is a day where we're thinking about, I am thinking about anyway, because it's Mental Health at Work Day. Take a beat. Take a beat for yourself. Take a beat for your team. Check in with people and see how they're truly doing. And don't take offence if some of the things are problems you've caused. That's on you, and that's part of the duty of care. So anyway, have a good day. Thank you for listening, and as always, you can always reach out for me if you ever want to talk about these things. So anyway, have a good day. Be mindful, be thoughtful, and take care of yourselves. See you later. Bye.